The world is screaming. 1,000 voices claw at your soul, demanding your attention, your conformity, your surrender. Social feeds buzz like a swarm of locusts. Opinions crash like waves against a crumbling shore, and the crowd marches in lockstep, chanting for you to follow. They tell you what to think, what to chase, what to become. Success, they say, is a shiny car, a viral post, a life that glitters for strangers. But deep inside, beneath the noise, a whisper stirs. It's faint, persistent, unyielding. It's your calling. And it's begging you to rise above the chaos, to silence the crowd, to obey the voice that no one else can hear. This is not a game for the faint-hearted. To heed your calling is to declare war on mediocrity, to step into a battlefield where doubt is your enemy and fear is the terrain. Napoleon Hill knew this war. He stood in the shadow of giants, Carnegie, Edison, Fordman, who didn't just hear their calling, but carved it into the stone of history. Carnegie didn't build an empire of steel by scrolling through distractions. Edison didn't light the world by chasing applause. Ford didn't revolutionize industry by polling the crowd. They heard the whisper and they obeyed. They understood a truth you must etch into your soul. Your calling is not a suggestion, it's a command. But the crowd will fight you. They'll mock your dreams, question your sanity, and tempt you with the comfort of the ordinary. They'll point to the safe path, the one worn smooth by countless feet, and say, "This is enough." And in moments of weakness, you'll be tempted to listen. You'll feel the weight of their stares, the sting of their laughter, the seduction of blending in. But know this, the crowd is a graveyard of dreams. Every conformist who bowed to their noise buried a piece of their soul. Every person who traded their calling for approval sold their future for a fleeting pat on the back. You are not them. You were born to rise. Your first weapon is mindset. Hill called it the master key to riches, not because it buys gold, but because it builds empires within. Your mind is a fortress, and you are its gatekeeper. Let in only what serves your purpose. The world will bombard you with doubt, with headlines that breed despair, with voices that whisper, "You're not enough." But you are enough not because of what you have, but because of what you choose to believe. Belief is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's the steel in your spine when the world says quit. It's the fire in your chest when the path grows dark. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before the bulb glowed, but he never failed in belief. He saw the light in his mind long before the world saw it in his hands. You must do the same. See your calling before it exists. Believe in it when no one else does. Hold it like a flame in a storm. Clarity is your compass. The noise of the world is a fog, thick and disorienting, designed to make you lose your way. It tempts you with 1,000 paths. Get rich quick, chase fame, follow trends. But your calling is not a trend. It's a truth, eternal and unshakable, written in the marrow of your being. To find it, you must strip away the clutter. Hill spent years studying the minds of the great, not to mimic their actions, but to uncover their secret. They knew exactly what they wanted. Carnegie saw a nation built on steel. Disney saw a world enchanted by stories. Lincoln saw a union unbroken. They didn't stumble into greatness. They aimed for it with ruthless precision. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what burns in me when the world goes quiet? What would I do if fear didn't exist? The answer is your North Star. Let it guide you through the fog. But clarity alone is not enough. Vision without action is a daydream, and the crowd loves dreamers who never wake. You must marry your clarity to purpose, the force that turns whispers into roars. Purpose is not a vague ideal. It's a fire that demands fuel. It's the reason you rise when you fall, the anchor that holds you steady when the world shakes. Henry Ford's purpose wasn't just to build a car, it was to make freedom accessible to every man. His vision wasn't a sketch on paper, it was a revolution on wheels. Your purpose is your why, the heartbeat of your calling. It's what makes the sacrifices worth it, the pain bearable, the loneliness a privilege. Find it, name it, let it consume you. The crowd will tell you purpose is selfish, that chasing your calling is reckless. They'll say you're foolish to risk stability for a dream. But stability is a lie when it chains you to a life half lived. The only true security is in obedience to your calling. Hill taught us that desire is the starting point of all achievement, but desire without purpose is a spark without tinder. You must fan it into a blaze. Write your purpose down. Speak it aloud. Let it be the lens through which every decision passes. Should you take that job? Does it serve your calling? Should you spend that hour? Does it move you closer to your vision? Purpose is your filter, your shield against the noise. And make no mistake, the noise is relentless. It's the friend who doubts you, the algorithm that distracts you, the inner voice that whispers, "What if you fail?" But failure is not the enemy. The crowd is. Failure is a teacher, a forge that tempers your resolve. The crowd is a thief, stealing your courage before you even begin. Abraham Lincoln failed at business, lost elections, and faced rejection at every turn, yet he rose to become a beacon of freedom. Why? Because he ignored the crowd. He obeyed the whisper in his soul that said, "Keep going. You must do the same. When the world screams, turn back. Let your purpose roar. Press on." This is the moment to choose. Will you bow to the noise, or will you rise above it? Will you let the crowd define your worth, or will you let your calling shape your destiny? The path is not easy. It's steep, solitary, and strewn with obstacles, but it's yours. Every step you take in obedience to your calling is a defiance of the ordinary. Every choice you make to believe, to clarify, to purpose is a brick in the monument of your life. The world will not applaud you yet. The crowd will not cheer. But in the silence of your soul, you'll hear it, the whisper growing louder, stronger, bolder. It's telling you to keep going. It's telling you to rise. The whisper of your calling is now a flame, flickering in the darkness of a world that begs you to dim it. You've chosen to rise, to believe, to anchor yourself in purpose. But purpose is not a destination, it's a journey, and journeys demand discipline. The crowd will tempt you to drift, to procrastinate, to settle for good enough. They'll offer you shortcuts, distractions, the sweet poison of ease. But ease is the enemy of greatness. Discipline is the bridge between your calling and its reality. It's the chisel that carves your vision into stone. Without it, your flame will falter and the noise will creep back in, louder, hungrier, ready to swallow your dreams whole. Discipline is not a gift. It's a choice you make every morning when the world is still asleep. It's the decision to act when your body screams for rest, to study when your mind craves escape, to push when every fiber of you wants to quit. Napoleon Hill learned this from Andrew Carnegie, a man who didn't just dream of steel, but forged it through relentless routine. Carnegie woke before dawn, planned his day with precision, and worked when others played. His discipline wasn't glamorous. It was gritty, unyielding, a daily defiance of comfort. You must be the same. Your calling doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It demands you show up day after day with the same fire you felt when you first heard its whisper. The world will test your discipline. It will throw obstacles in your path, bills to pay, doubters to silence, failures that sting like open wounds. The crowd will watch, waiting for you to crumble, eager to say, "We told you so." But discipline is your shield. It's the rhythm of small, consistent steps that build mountains over time. Walt Disney didn't create an empire in a single stroke of genius. He sketched, failed, pivoted, and sketched again day after day until his imagination reshaped the world. Every line he drew was an act of discipline, a vow to his calling. Your steps may feel small now, a page written, a skill honed, a fear faced, but they are not small. They are the foundation of your legacy. Action is discipline's twin, the spark that turns your flame into a wildfire. The crowd loves to plan, to talk, to dream in circles, but action is where dreams breathe. Hill taught us that desire backed by faith must be transmuted into definite plans and immediate action. Thomas Edison didn't just dream of light. He experimented, broke things, burned things, and tried again. His hands were as busy as his mind. Your calling demands the same. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Don't wait for permission. The crowd will never give it. Act now. Start messy. Start small, but start. Every action you take is a rebellion against the noise, a declaration that your calling is worth fighting for. The crowd will call your actions foolish. They'll say you're moving too fast, risking too much, dreaming too big. But the only true risk is inaction. Inaction is the slow death of your potential, the betrayal of the whisper that set you free. Henry Ford acted when the world laughed at his horseless carriage. He built, tested, failed, and built again, not because he had guarantees, but because he had conviction. Your conviction is your fuel. Let it drive you to act when others hesitate, to create when others consume, to move when others stand still. Action is not just effort, it's courage. It's the courage to be seen, to be wrong, to be unfinished, and to keep going anyway. And in the grind of discipline, in the heat of action, you must anchor yourself in gratitude. The crowd chases what they lack, always hungry, always empty. But gratitude is the alchemy that turns enough into abundance. It's the lens that reveals the miracles hidden in your struggle. Hill believed that a grateful heart attracts opportunity, not by magic, but by focus. When you're grateful, you see the tools you have, not the ones you're missing. You see the lessons in failure, not the shame. You see the people who lift you, not the ones who drag you down. Gratitude is not passive. It's a fire that burns away resentment and lights the path to your calling. Look around you. The breath in your lungs is a gift. The mind that dreams is a miracle. The hands that build are a privilege. Be grateful for the pain that shapes you, for it's forging you into something unbreakable. Be grateful for the doubts that test you, for they teach you to trust your calling. Be grateful for the silence when the crowd falls away, for it's where you hear the whisper clearest. Oprah Winfrey rose from poverty not by cursing her circumstances, but by thanking the universe for her voice, her story, her chance to speak. Every step she took was laced with gratitude, and it carried her to heights the crowd could never touch. Let gratitude carry you too. Let it be the song you sing when the world is screaming. The noise will tell you to want more, to compare, to envy. But gratitude silences the noise. It roots you in the present while pulling you toward the future. It reminds you that your calling is not a race against others, but a covenant with yourself. Every moment you choose gratitude, you choose power. You choose to see the world not as a battlefield of scarcity, but as a canvas of possibility. And on that canvas, your disciplined actions paint a masterpiece, stroke by stroke, day by day. But the crowd is cunning. They'll disguise their noise as wisdom, telling you to slow down, to doubt, to wait for a sign. They'll point to your stumbles and call them proof you're not ready. Ignore them. Your readiness is not their verdict to give. It's yours to claim through discipline, action, and gratitude. Hill once said that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage. Your struggles are not stop signs, they're stepping stones. The rejection you face is training. The fatigue you feel is strength being born. The loneliness of your path is the price of your freedom. Embrace it all, thank it all, act through it all. Your calling is waiting, and it will not wait forever. The flame of your calling burns brighter now, fueled by discipline, sparked by action, and warmed by gratitude. But the world is not done with you. The crowd still lurks, their noise a shifting shadow, their voices adapting to your progress. They see your steps, your small victories, and they change their tune. Now they whisper of caution, of complacency, of staying where you are. They point to the winds of change and say, it's too risky to move. But your calling is not a cage. It's a river, alive and flowing, demanding you adapt or be left behind. Adaptability is your wings. It's the courage to bend without breaking, to shift without losing your way, to evolve while staying true to the whisper that guides you. The crowd fears change. They cling to the familiar, to routines that rust their souls. But you are not them. You are a creator, a builder, a dreamer who dances with the unknown. Napoleon Hill saw this in John D. Rockefeller, a man who didn't just ride the waves of industry but redirected their course. When oil markets shifted, when competitors rose, Rockefeller adapted. He found new methods, forged new alliances, and turned chaos into opportunity. Your calling demands the same. The world will not stand still for you. Trends will fade, obstacles will morph, and plans will crumble. But adaptability is your alchemy. It turns setbacks into setups, dead ends into detours, and storms into stories. Embrace the pivot. Trust the change. Your calling is not rigid, it's resilient, and so are you. Resilience is the heartbeat of your journey. The crowd will tell you that strength is loud, that it's the absence of struggle. They're wrong. Strength is quiet. It's the choice to rise when you've been knocked down, to rebuild when your dreams lie in ashes. Resilience is the fire that refuses to die. Abraham Lincoln knew this fire. He lost elections, buried loved ones, and faced a nation tearing itself apart. Yet he stood, not because he was unbreakable, but because he was unstoppable. Every scar he carried was a lesson, every failure a forge. Your scars are the same. The rejection that stings, the dream that didn't bloom, the night you cried alone, they are not your defeat. They are your training. They are proof you're still in the fight. The crowd will call your resilience stubbornness. They'll say you're chasing a lost cause. Let them. Their words are dust, and your calling is stone. Resilience is not blind hope. It's rooted in faith. Faith in your purpose, faith in the whisper, faith in the one who placed it in you. Hill taught us that faith is the starting point of all miracles. When you fall, faith lifts you. When you doubt, faith anchors you. When the world screams, give up, faith whispers, keep going. You are not here by accident. Your calling is not a fluke. It's a divine assignment. And resilience is your vow to see it through. Every time you rise, you defy the noise. Every time you rebuild, you silence the crowd. But resilience alone is not enough. You must learn. The crowd consumes. You create. The crowd repeats. You refine. Learning is the wind that carries your calling higher. It's the humility to admit you don't know everything. The hunger to grow beyond your limits. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb by chance. He studied, experimented, and learned from every failure. His workshop was a classroom. His mistakes were his teachers. Your life is the same. Every challenge is a lesson, every critic a mirror, every moment a chance to sharpen your mind. Seek knowledge like oxygen. Read the stories of those who rose before you. Study the craft that fuels your calling. Listen to the mentors who've walked your path. The crowd stops learning when they're comfortable. You learn when you're desperate, when you're broken, when you're burning for more. The noise will tempt you to coast, to rest on what you've already achieved. But comfort is a trap. Your calling is not a trophy to display, it's a mission to fulfill. Learning keeps you alive, keeps you growing, keeps you dangerous to the ordinary. Hill spent a lifetime studying success, not to bask in it, but to share it. He knew that knowledge compounds, that every lesson builds on the last, that every insight is a step closer to your vision. Be a student of your calling. Let curiosity be your compass, humility your guide. The more you learn, the louder the whisper grows, the clearer the path becomes, the stronger your flame burns. Now, stand at the edge of your journey. The crowd is behind you, their voices fading, their shadows shrinking. Ahead lies your calling, not a distant dream, but a living reality, built by your belief, your discipline, your actions, your gratitude, your adaptability, your resilience, your learning. You've walked through fire, through doubt, through the noise that tried to drown you, and you're still here. That is not luck, that is power, that is proof that you were made for this. The world will not hand you your destiny. The crowd will not carve your path, but you will. You are carving it now with every choice, every step, every moment you choose to obey the whisper over the roar. This is your awakening. You are not here to blend in, to shrink, to apologize for your fire. You are here to rise, to create, to become the person your calling demands. The noise will never stop, but neither will you. Let it rage, let it scream. You are unshakable. Your faith is your fortress, your purpose, your sword, your resilience, your armor. Walt Disney built a kingdom from a mouse because he ignored the crowd. Henry Ford moved a nation because he obeyed his vision. You are no different. Your calling is your kingdom, your vision, your revolution. Build it, move it, live it. So go now. Step into the unknown with the courage of those who came before you. Let the whisper of your calling be your guide, louder than fear, stronger than doubt, brighter than the noise. You are not just a dreamer. You are a doer, a builder, a force. The crowd will watch, some in awe, some in envy, but none will understand the fire that drives you, and that's okay. Your calling is not for them, it's for you. It's for the world you'll change, the lives you'll touch, the legacy you'll leave. Rise above the noise, obey your calling, ignore the crowd. The future is yours, claim it.